Today is D-Day for Annastacia Palaszczuk to respond.
4 p.m's the time Pauline Hanson has put on this, Annalise, for the Queensland Premier to respond as to why the borders will remain closed. This could go all the way to the High Court, with the challenge centring around the fact that so many tourism operators in Queensland are struggling because the international borders will remain closed for the foreseeable future, and without the domestic tourism market, they are expected to continue to struggle. New figures released by the Tourism Minister's office today shows that it's a $2 billion hit to the state economy if they don't reopen to other visitors from other states by September. There's also shows that Queensland is the state with the highest reliance on other states coming to visit. Just under half of the tourism market in that state relies on people from other states. In Victoria, it's a similar amount, but because they haven't closed their borders, they will be able to benefit when we do start to see travel really getting underway. It's something Pauline Hanson seized on today as she was really fired up at Annastacia Palaszczuk.
We rely on nearly 50% of our income in Queensland from southern tourists coming up to Queensland. And she's destroying all that because she is pig-headed, dogmatic, dictator in keeping the border shut. For what reason? And there's no real reason to keep the border shut.
One of the nation's leading constitutional law experts, George Williams, says Ms Hanson's challenge would be very likely to succeed at the High Court.
They may be on a winner on this one. This is an area where the Constitution speaks in emphatic terms about free movement. It's also true that this can't continue forever, and it may be their time they're run well. If they can show that medical evidence isn't good enough to justify the closures, they're in with a shot, and it's possible the High Court will strike down these border closures.
And Trudy, Queensland's not the only state playing hardball on borders ahead of tomorrow's National Cabinet.
You can expect some fireworks tomorrow, Annalise, you'd imagine, as South Australia, Western Australia, the Northern Territory and Tasmania have all been holding the line when it comes to closing their borders, despite the fact that there was never any national medical advice suggesting they do so. In WA, for example, Mark McGowan faces a possible High Court challenge as well from billionaire Clive Palmer. So you can see there's a lot up for grabs when it comes to this issue. Today, though, there was an interesting concession from the South Australian Premier. He said for his state, there is in fact no net gain for allowing interstate travellers in, particularly in winter. Sounds like a bit of a concession there that no one wants to visit Adelaide in winter. Have a listen.
We've been opened up to intra-state travel for a long time, promoting regional travel. As of Monday, pubs can have up to 80 people in them. So there's been a lot of advantages. And quite frankly, from a tourism perspective, I don't think there would be a net gain from opening up those borders in the middle of winter in South Australia. So my primary concern, health, safety and welfare of South Australians.
Annalise, tomorrow's National Cabinet will be the first meeting since this border battle really broke out a fortnight ago. Interesting to be a fly on the wall, you'd imagine, in that National Cabinet tomorrow.